This session is going to be about what the PDF Association does, what it can do for your organization, what it does for PDF standards, and really the resources that are available to members. I'm going to blaze through these slides. There are quite a few, so I want to get to some questions. But we will have another session, I believe, directly thereafter, a question time dedicated to answering questions about the PDF Association, how to get the most out of it, both at a technical and a marketing level. So I'm going to cover the association, like what it is, its mission, its a little bit of background, what it does, how it's managed, things like that. Pretty straightforward, really. If you're in the wrong session, there's others. Okay, you all are here. PDF Association began. It's a non-profit organization based right here in Berlin. It's actually proper name, and these things matter here in Germany, is the Association for Digital Document Standards. At least that's how we file our taxes, ADDS. It started as the PDF-A Competence Center, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit more in a minute. So there are 111 commercial and 31 individual members from a wide variety of different countries, as you can see. And a wide variety of nonprofit organizations are also affiliate members or liaison members of the PDF Association for the purposes of keeping their retaining or enhancing their awareness about developments within the space as they pertain to the electronic document technology applications that these organizations are variously concerned with. Characteristically, these tend to be archival organizations, accessibility, and so on, but not exclusively. We call ourselves the meeting place of the PDF industry and the learning place for developers implementing PDF technology. I'm sure I updated that slide, so now I'm suspicious. So to promote the adoption and implementation of international standards for PDF technology is our moniker. This was adopted by the board of directors in 2011. And it is the credo by which we attempt to execute our operations and go along and promote and drive this particular agenda. A number of things are not stated in this. You know, we are vendor neutral, for example. That's sort of endemic to PDF. It's part of the genesis or the definition of PDF's value proposition. We don't say it right here, but we don't need to, because we're the PDF people. We already know this. But we want the rest of the world to understand that there are international standards for PDF and that we're here to help them understand and adopt them. There are a wide variety of international standards for PDF, ranging from PDFX, the first one in 2001, and through the most recent PDF VT. There are more on the way. I just got back from a meeting in Hangzhou, China, where the relevant ISO committee just advanced the ball a little further. We are working on PDF A4, working on PDF UA2, and a couple different ideas about updates to ISO 32000 itself. So the history of the association and our kind of, I guess you could say, some of our waypoints along the way. PDF-A was published in 2005 by ISO. And it was, in a sense, a collaboration between AIM and MPES, the two organizations that conceived right away the need for PDF-A, published this document. They were close, and a number of different organizations, particularly in Germany and in Switzerland, where it got to work right away on this new specification, deciding to figure out a way to go ahead and implement it, start making some money, perhaps, from this new archive specification for PDF. Along the way, they discovered that, number one, they had the need to get together to resolve some technical questions that arose right away when they started to read the specification. Various kinds of, it's too easy for me to run down that rabbit hole. Various kinds of questions that they would have about the spec. And in addition, they realized that they would have more capacity and there would be more ability to market specification, to generate user interest in it, if they collaborated together and formed a kind of a nonprofit to generate messaging and to generate informational, educational content that would help promote the value proposition of PDFA. So the PDFA Competence Center was born. There you can see its logo right there. Time goes forward. In 2008, or in 2007 really, Adobe makes a decision to commit the PDF specification to ISO. Very timely as far as we're concerned. And 2008, PDF becomes ISO 32000 Part 1, and work on PDF 2.0 begins. The organization changed its name in 2010, and I have a bad feeling it was actually early 2011, but regardless. The organization changed its name and expanded its scope from PDFA to become actually the PDF Association, to become an industry association for all of PDF, and not one dedicated to the particular subset that is all about archiving purposes. A key waypoint, I think, came along in 2014 when we won when in conjunction with the Open Preservation Foundation. That is to say, the PDF Association won backing of the EU, the European Union, to develop what they wanted to call a definitive validator for PDFA. And we didn't like that, actually. We said, no, we don't call it that. We want to call it industry supported instead. And so that's what it is. VeraPDF, now shipping as of last year, now at version, I believe, 1.13. is indeed that. It is a open source piece of software. It's freely available, of course, and has the backing of the industry, in the sense that the industry participating in the development of it has agreed that VeraPDF represents its understanding of the VeraPDF specification, of the PDFA specification in all three parts. Along the way to that, we ran into a variety, just as they did back in the PDFA Competence Center back in the day, ran into a variety of technical concerns, argued about them, discussed them, came up with conclusions, made recommendations to the ISO community. In fact, those recommendations have in many cases become part of PDFA 4, as it were, taking them off the table for the future. In 2017, PDF 2.0 shipped, and as did VeraPDF 1.0. And the mission of the association continues to promote these standards and technologies. So how do we support adoption and implementation of ISO standardized PDF? There are a variety of resources. These are characteristically resources from that I'm listing here, from the technical side of the matter. We also promote these things through marketing resources as well, as I'll explain shortly. So a variety of technical working groups and application notes. These are documents generated by interested parties of developers and others, product managers and so on, who are willing to get together on a regular basis to do a conference call, discuss and debate their interests or their needs for a particular draft, advance a given document further forward, and then eventually, when everybody is satisfied with it, ratify the document, publish it on the PDF Association website. These aren't just documents, they can take the place of a reference suite. That's a collection of files that are conform with PDF UA1. Might be the open source validation software VeraPDF. It might be the VeraPDF's own test suite, which allows you to simply ignore the VeraPDF software and yet get all the pass-fail cases that were used to develop it and test them against your own software. Or they might be conventional technical notes and application notes, other kinds of documents that serve various needs in terms of defining or in terms of supplementing the ISO specifications. Nonprofits and government agencies use the PDF Association, so that's really more on the technical side. Nonprofits and government agencies use the association. They pay attention to our newsletter, and they read our website, and they occasionally attend our meetings, and they use us, generally speaking, to stay up to date on developments in these technologies. They sometimes come along and say, "Hey, we love this. How about doing this?" We had a number of very interesting conversations with archivists around the place about PDFA 3, for example, and many more conversations about PDFA 4. archivists have come along with various kinds of requests for this and for that other kind of profile of PDF to help supplement their other kinds of work. And they're not the only ones. So the government agencies out there are connecting with the PDF industry, and by the way, with PDF vendors. This is one of the ways in which I know personally that various nonprofits have used the PDF associations to help them find partners. And they rate their partners not in a trivial way by the extent of involvement in the PDF association. I think I've observed a number of cases in my capacity as the executive director, and I wind up talking to a lot of these government people on a regular basis. Their interest in us is not so much because we're such great guys and that we know so much about PDF. But because they feel, and I think that they're right about this, that organizations that tend to pay attention to the standards development process in a deep way, and that tends to imply that they're members, at least, of the association, and ideally that they even participate in the association and they help unravel the questions about validity and so on. Those organizations are themselves oriented towards developing very high quality products, and so I think a number of third parties out there have used the fact of association membership in that kind of way. And certainly that's what I would encourage our members to do, is to leverage the fact of their membership to promote the idea of their self-association with ISO standardized PDF, not just with PDF itself. So a little bit about the organization. Members, of course, are the core of a membership organization, as of course they would be. And there are three basic categories. There are all members, and that would include individual members. There are partners. These are members who have stepped up to take a specific kind of to take a higher degree of interest in the specific operational day-to-day work of the PDF Association. And they're liaison members, and these would be the National Archives in the United States, the Library of Congress, or a variety of other organizations worldwide that are liaison members of the association. Board members are drawn from the partner members of the association. So that's really, so partner membership is essentially a requirement to be a board member. The board is elected by the membership every 2 years, and we're going to have that election again, I guess, for the next 2-year cycle, a little later this afternoon. Within the board then manages the procedures and the protocols and the day-to-day operations of the staff and the operational infrastructure of the PDF Association. We have this idea of competence centers. Now, competence center is what the PDF Association, when it was the PDFA Competence Center, was just that. It was one group of people doing a whole bunch of stuff connected with developing and understanding and promoting PDFA. Since then, it's become a little it's been additionally refined. We now have technical working groups and marketing working groups, and there can be several of these within a given competence center. Characteristically, a technical working group and a marketing working group, or perhaps only the technical working group. But then we might add other working groups for interest-specific subjects. There are special technical working groups that don't really fit within any competence center. Two examples of these are the PDF Validation Technical Working Group. Validation, as considered, was a distinct subject from any individual specification, and the competence centers tend to be organized around individual subsets of PDF. And then PDF Raster was another special technical working group developed for the purpose of developing this specification PDF Raster, which we published last year, which has now been submitted, in fact, into the ISO process for ISO standardization as a PDFR. Next generation, and then there's a project which we discussed a couple of years ago, which we've called, as it were, codenamed Next Generation PDF, and it's a long discussion and it will take a long time to develop it, but that work continues as well in the respective technical working group in particular, for evolving the idea about what the next generation of PDF at the technical level is really, we hope, going to look like. So activities of the organization, there are technical activities. We first and foremost, it's possible to access the standards for members of the association. A key benefit is that you don't have to be also a member of the ISO committees, which is a significant pain and certainly a non-trivial amount of overhead. You can acquire standards drafts from the PDF Association's intranet, and as a PDF Association member, you're entitled to make comments against those drafts, to forward them into the system. That would be through me, for example, or for the liaison officer, Dietrich, and I'll talk more about that briefly, and have those comments considered at the ISO table. So that key benefit is a route directly from the developer sitting there at their desk, puzzling over a particular paragraph or a particular bullet point in the specification, realizing there's a problem with it, or just thinking that it's damn confusing and they'd like to see it improved. They'd like to know the real story on that, or a better explanation. And the PDF Association provides a route to send that question up to the ISO committee and have the answer either in the way of an updated specification in the future, or or simply an answer like, the answer might be, no, we're not going to do that. But that's information, right? It's more information than before. We do interop workshops. The third PDF 2.0 interop workshop will happen tomorrow, right here in the hotel, in which about, I think it's 38 or so developers will get together and logged into a JIRA that we've set up for the purpose of allowing people to post test files and so on. And I'll talk a little bit more about that soon. But this is a resource for all members, and at the moment, a resource open to everybody, although we're talking about that. But the Interop Workshop is a great way for organizations that are seeking to support PDF 2.0 to test their own assumptions about the software, to test how their own software would react to the encountering PDF 2.0 files, and a wide variety of means to get ahead of the situation where you get to find out about PDF 2.0 when your customer sends you a file, which is never the right kind of situation to have. And of course, we develop publications characteristically for developers, but also some others that serve to either add a technical note or an application note or other clarifying information, or other, for example, the Matterhorn protocol, an algorithm for understanding PDF UA1. On the marketing side, we do events. So you're attending one of them. Hate to tell you. We have movies. I think we're up to over 300 educational sessions right now on YouTube. Publications for users such as the Nutshell series, marketing initiatives, and so on. So I'll talk a little bit more about these. And I think I've just gone ahead and preloaded all my slides here. So I'm going to walk you through a little tour of the online presences, if you will, of the PDF Association. We have, as you can see here from my representation, a website with a variety of different components, an intranet allowing you to get access to ISO drafts and minutes and meetings and minutes for working groups. The JIRA, which presently hosts the Interop Workshop model, but also will be adding another model for ISO commenting, and in fact, there are more ideas coming soon. YouTube, where we collect a wide variety of movies that are produced from sessions at events such as PDF Days, and of course our social media. So the website, you've been there. There are a variety of options for association members to gain benefit, marketing benefit from use of this website, including the posting of articles, of member news, and so on. And we'll be able to, certainly be happy to answer any questions about this, how we work these policies out, the kinds of things that we can post, the kind of things we probably prefer not to, and so on.
The interesting thing is we have a good Google ranking because many members link to us.
Yes, that's right. Thank you, Tomas. Our members, as we would have hoped, many of our members are pleased or proud or at least willing to get their money's worth for their membership in the PDF Association, and so they link to our site. So we have links into our site from a diverse group of websites all over the world. They're all of them concerned with the same technology. And that makes us a relatively well-ranked website so far as Google's search algorithm is concerned. So in our website, you can include include your company's description. You can discuss your products and services, post white papers, include news about your company, indicate that events that you've got coming up, and then in our articles section, you're very welcome to develop thought leadership pieces. Articles, they could be just a couple hundred words. They could be a huge long essay. It's up to you. But we encourage our members to develop pieces that help them establish that they're thinking ahead, they're looking forward to a particular kind of technology or a development, or have a particular recommendation or a high-level consideration for implementers of PDF technologies. And for members, again, the universal way, one straightforward way to update your content on the site, and this really streamlines things from a staff's point of view in terms of updating the website, is to go to pdfa.org/mypost and enter your update there, and then it can be serviced by the staff of the PDF Association on the back end. The intranet continues to be updated over time, but now is somewhat simplified compared to the way it was about a year ago. It includes a reorganized method for accessing ISO documents, and in particular includes the meeting times, the listservs, which are essential for maintaining, for connecting with the various technical working groups and marketing working groups. And you can find all these through the intranet. For this is, of course, a members-only resource. The JIRA is about to become fundamentally a members-only resource. The legacy of the interops has been that they are open to developers who wanted to attend. As we proceed further with that, and as we change the interop from an in-person, on-site style of event to a indefinite, never-ending type of event, where the thing is always open and people can come along and pull test files and post them all the time, it will become a resource that's available to PDF Association members only. And at the moment, the JIRA includes a model for testing files for PDF 2.0 purposes, and for requesting others to post PDF files for PDF 2.0 files for test purposes. That is to say, you may have consumption software, and you'd really like to exercise it against a particular feature out there, and you'd love to have some third-party developers iteration of that feature to test, and that's what this JIRA is for. On YouTube, we have many hundreds. I think the number is, no, I didn't put it on the slide. We have at least 300, maybe 350 videos at this point, which are a wide variety of sessions over quite a few years of PDF Association events. And so YouTube serves a significant resource in that way of you can go back in time and look at other presentations by other experts in the community on very specific subjects as they have been iterated out over the years. For example, just recently added to YouTube was a playlist for PDF Day Washington, D.C., which just happened in January, this January. And this playlist goes through a variety of subjects specific to, well, really all of the 18 sessions that were presented at PDF Days in Washington are represented here individually. The commercial sessions are not. Our YouTube content is characteristically strictly educational, although we do occasionally create opportunities for sponsors to include very, very short commercial messages in our playlists. So in social media, I'm not an expert on social media, okay? Some people in this room know that better than others. But we do maintain a variety of social media presences, and ranging from in Facebook and in Twitter, where we do more on the end of some engagement and some promotion of our events and of the kinds of information we post on the website and so on. In addition, in LinkedIn, we maintain a variety of LinkedIn groups, which are excellent resources for end users and non-members to go there and ask questions. And those groups are characteristically inhabited not just by those members, but by members, technical members of the PDF Association. And so people going to visit those groups oftentimes find the answers that they need there. And again, I'd suggest to the members present in the room that spending time in those groups, and you'll find some interesting questions, and you'll find the opportunity to demonstrate some leadership in the industry by hanging out there. So, organization governance. I mentioned before, I gave you that little chart of how the organization is structured. Members, members participate fundamentally in working groups. It's the sort of primary activity of being a member, right? Apart from paying your dues, right? That's just as important. So you participate in working groups. You also and you also have the opportunity to elect boards of directors. From the working group point of view, working groups are characteristically self-organized to produce their content. They have, as a resource, I exist as a resource to the working groups to help structure them, to help create logistical support, and to provide some basis for draft content, templates, and also sometimes a nudge here or there to assist the process in getting off down the road. But I'm I am rarely, if ever we have a technical working group or a marketing working group where it's my idea and I think it's a great thing, that's usually a bad sign. And it's very, very important to us that we have a champion for whatever the issue is in that particular group from the industry, not just the guy who's paid to think about the industry. And paid to work the levers for the PDF Association, right? Sure, I've got my own ideas, but they may not represent industry interests, and so my role in this is very much to help others get what they need to get done. Partner members are members who have become partners. That essentially means they pay double their membership fee to be a partner member, and this makes them eligible for invitation to join the board of directors. Doesn't assure you a place in the board of directors, I hasten to add, but it does create that eligibility. What we want to see from partner members in order to see them really on the board of directors is engagement, involvement in a technical working group, involvement in governance of the organization, promoting, having some idea, creating or promoting some content. These are the kinds of things that impress the board and interest the board in saying, hey, great idea, let's invite so-and-so to join the organization, to join the board and help us drive the future of the PDF Association forward. The board of directors, as I mentioned earlier, establishes policies and procedures and determines actions and priorities. Basically, the board is my boss. And in fact, there's Matt back there, he's the chairman of the board. Membership benefits. I feel like this is like the third time this slide has somehow come up. But somebody once told me you have to tell them what you're going to tell them, and then tell them what you just told them. So here I am telling you, I forget which iteration this is. So we provide at the technical level, we provide resources for developers and product managers. We provide a vendor-neutral meeting place. Very important. No vendor controls the conversation in the PDF Association. No vendor has more than a single vote. No vote's worth more than any other. Okay, so a board member, some things board members vote on, but all technical documents, all publications of the organization, every member gets to vote on this. So participation is an equal footing in industry working groups. Maybe you're a one-horse consulting outfit. That's okay. You can also be a PDF expert. In fact, if you are a PDF expert, why aren't you in the technical working group helping us out, right? That's my perspective. And then, of course, and because we offer this this sort of even flat-keeled means of participation at a technical level, we provide mechanisms, in some ways largely informal, but some formal, to develop common understandings. And the Vera PDF process has been a big part of that, helping because we had to work through a number of very contentious issues there. There's shipping software in the world that already does something that claims to be PDFA. So who dare come up with a validator that says it's wrong, right? Well, that's the job that the Vera PDF, the PDF validation technical working group took up. It wasn't easy at some times, but the key thing was that we got somewhere. And we can now say, and I can say without any doubt at all, that there's an industry-supported PDFA validator. You know what? PDFA isn't worth a whole lot if it isn't industry supported. So now we can say that with a little bit more formality, and that's really very good. So from a marketing point of view, what do we offer members in this organization? Well, number one is, and Tomas alluded to this earlier, we're a third-party .org identity. Our members link to us. And why not? They're members, and they should be proud of being a part of a membership organization they pay to be members of. And in consequence as a part of that, and of course also as a consequence is the exceptionally high quality of content that we post. I'm not being very funny today, am I? Yeah. We have a good rating from Google page views. Google thinks highly of our website, relatively speaking, and we come up reasonably well in searches pertaining to PDF technology. But more to the point, we provide a third-party basis for your own message through the ability to post technical thought leadership content in the articles section, to posting information about your member news about your company, events your company might be doing, and so on. We provide a variety of resources that help you get the word out from a website that's not yours and that has a legitimate .org association attached to it, and where the basis of that is somehow the idea of an industry rather than of a commercial entity like your marketing partner, right, doing you a favor here. It's not like that. It's actually something that's working hard to lift every boat in the industry, not just yours, not just his. And in fact, we believe it succeeds when we lift all boats better when we lift them all at once. So I've mentioned a couple of these other things here. So getting stuff done, how do you do these things? Company and these are the various kinds of things you can do, or many of the things in association from a marketing point of view with the PDF association. Company and product listings, I've mentioned that. The intranet and Jira, not so much marketing resources, not sure what they're doing in these slides. We encourage members to lead and to participate in working groups, and this is the working groups are a fundamental aspect of our activity to drive the standard forward, drive new understandings that help produce products such as the Nutshell books or the Matterhorn protocol for PDF UA or Vera PDF for PDFA and so on. The Google groups that we host are there for the purposes of providing essentially listserv functionality to each one of the various technical working groups and marketing working groups. And these are all listed on the intranet. The LinkedIn groups, straightforwardly enough, they're all available through the group style, the groups model within LinkedIn. And these are, I think there are about 6 of them at this point. And they all go by the idea about PDF UA, about PDFA, about PDFE, and so on. We make it possible to sponsor our events. Characteristically, sponsorship opportunities are only open to members at PDF Association events. And of course, you have the opportunity to speak at them as well, as many of you know. And I think I've mentioned probably 4 or 5 times now that it's possible also to publish articles, thought leadership pieces on pdfa.org. And I encourage you all to do that, and I'm delighted to be of any assistance that I can be in getting that done. What's coming down the road for the PDF Association? Well, we're going to start running the interop workshop, so to speak, on a 24/7, 365 basis, which really amounts to the idea that it will always be open, and members can always go there and pull a file and post a comment about it, and then those people interested in that file will learn more about it. We'll also begin to think about whether or not it makes sense to take the files that are posted and to categorize them. This one's conforming, this one's non-conforming, and we'll make some sort of a declaration about that in the JIRA. Right? This is a workflow feature that we're looking at supporting in that context. So interop for PDF 2.0 is about to go from twice a year kind of a 1 or 2 day in-person event to a continuously operating cycle where people can go ahead and use it to request new files, to post their own test files, and to evaluate results really whenever it's suitable for them. We are under the, I believe, so the example I was thinking of for the third bullet, the PDF UA Competence Center has a marketing working group, and it's all excited about a new initiative which would involve the development of 3 articles, each about 1,000 words, expressing 3 different key points of interest, or discussing 3 key points of interest for procurement people from the about PDF UA. Right, and the articles are to be written they're to be developed from the should we say the industry perspective, which is to say they won't be about any specific vendor or any tool or any technology, but they'll just be about how to think about PDF UA in the context of if you're a major government agency procuring software or services, what should you know about PDF UA and how should you think about it? In addition to this, so we're going to create so the PDF UA Marketing Working Group wants to create a landing page for this content on pdfa.org and wants to post these 3 articles there, and then wants to produce video content associated with each one of those 3 articles that expresses the idea of these articles, because as we know, well, everybody seems to prefer video to reading these days. And then we'll host that content as well and populate the site with it. And in this way, and in order to generate this content, we'll use the collaborative resources of the members attending the PDF UA Marketing Working Group, and we will, as mediated, shall we say, through the PDF Association, and we will collaborate together in terms of developing the content, approving the content, and even perhaps funding the development of the movies. Right? So that those people who are really interested in that particular piece of functionality or adding that particular piece of value, coming up with a short movie in a vendor neutral way to express something that they believe procurement people need to know, that the PDF Association can provide a vehicle to do that too. There'll be more movies and webinars. So that was really an example of the kind of thing that we're looking to be doing in the future. But that one's actually one that the relevant marketing working group has definitely decided it wants to do. There'll be more movies and webinars in the future, and an editorial calendar, which is under discussion right now. I don't want to offer too many details about it, because it remains to be determined and discussed by the board. But I myself think it's a great idea, and I certainly hope to convince the board of the same. So you may very well know the staff of the PDF Association at this point, and I have them up here for you on the screen. These are the folks whose job it is to help you day to day, working the levers of the PDF Association and getting the value that you want and need from the organization. We do a variety. Let's see. I think the next. Yeah. So, and I very much encourage you to get in touch with us. In particular, get in touch with myself. For things pertaining to maybe you have a thought piece you want to do. You have an idea for a new marketing working group or a technical working group, or you want to learn more about involvement in some way particular to that. I might be a good person to talk to. Membership matters. I would certainly steer you towards Tomas for that discussion. Matthias maintains our website, and he also operates moderates events such as this for us, which is, believe me, a very, very important role in our universe. Alex?
Also, his main position is member service, so especially for this session, it's quite important.
Yes, yes.
You have this simple my posting where you simply can drop a Word file if you have a press release, think of that, and Matthias will handle that.
Yes, as I mentioned, the My Post feature on pdfa.org is a really important route to updating your content, to adding really any content to the PDF Association website from a member point of view. It's by far the easiest and most streamlined way to communicate that request to the member services team, which is led by Matthias in this case. So I put here's some contact information I put here on the screen to let you know how to get in touch with us at the PDF Association. And now it's time, and I think I'm more or less out of time with respect to this session here, and I believe we're going to switch over in a minute or so to a panel in which we would want to hear very much from you. We want to hear about what's working about the PDF Association and what's not working. What you think we could do that we've never thought of, and even the things that you think we could do that we already thought of and we thought they were a terrible idea. Because if you tell us that they're a good idea, we will probably change our minds. Okay? What could be done better? What could be abandoned? What could be done better, or else you're not going to be members anymore? There are a lot of things that we look forward to hearing from you, from members of the association. Thank you very much, and please stick around for the forthcoming panel.